Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. ברשות הרב ניסניאן, I feel honored to meet my friend Yuval Ovadia, the great filmmakers, many films. I will not take a long time from your time, maybe 2-3 minutes, just to give you a preview how we got to sit here tonight. How did it all start? Well, about 11, I should say about 12 or 13 years ago, in an apartment of our mutual friends in Manhattan, almost, 25, 30 non-religious people were sitting there. I showed up in the primitive days when we had suitcases. We didn't have laptops those days. We gave a lecture there, and Baruch Hashem, I can say today that at least half of these people are completely Haredim from that night. That's what I know. I don't know where the other ones are. But the one who came forward more than anybody that was there in that night, that took everything serious and came to a seminar and came for Shabbat and went to yeshiva right away in Israel. And 6 months later, I went to Eretz Israel. He invited me to his parents' house in Ramat Gan. You have to understand, the days over there, in those days, 13 years ago, nobody in the history of the Jewish nation ever thought of making a video to make people religious. Nobody had this idea. Now you're going to understand how it's all started. Today it's all history. You see it everywhere. But 6 months later, I went and I gave a 4-hour lecture in his parents' house. 4 hours. 3 hours he cut. Until today, I eat my heart for the 3 hours. But 1 hour he kept. And that hour, a few months later, he called me up. He worked at least 300 hours to make it, because it used to be primitive equipment. Like today, you have all this software. We're talking with the box, with the primitive studio. Of course, all free of charge. He never asked for anything. He's full of fire just to make a film to make people religious. He calls me up, he tells me, give me all your slides. Remember, there's no computer yet. It's all primitive slides. Give me a copy of all your material, and I want to make a movie. I started to laugh at him. I told him, what movie? What do you want to do with this? He said, no, I'm going to make a movie. Now I know he already made a movie that got accepted by HBO. And he gave that movie away. Why? Because he found the truth. He doesn't care, the money, whatever. It was a complete movie. He was invited to Hollywood. He put a yarmulke. He blessed Hashem in front of all these goyim that live in a fake life over there. And maybe that's the opportunity Hashem gave him, that few months later, he already started to show the truth to thousands, many thousands of Jews. The film was made, and that was the first movie in the history of the Jewish nation. Literally. There's nobody ever made movies before. It was only audio tapes. That was even before CDs. It was all audio tapes, lectures. But this is the first movie with music, with pictures, with, and Baruch Hashem, right away Hashem helped. There's thousands of them every month going to different places in Israel. They accepted that film, even though it was done in a primitive way, in a house. It wasn't in a professional studio. They put it on television. I used to get phone calls from my relatives in Israel. We watch you on television now. Then few websites got open after that film because people saw the potential of making people religious through videos, which is something that nobody ever done before. After that, now Baruch Hashem, you have, who knows, hundreds of films that people made, Baruch Hashem. But all the famous ones, as the Rav mentioned before me, Gog uMagog, The Final Journey, Seada, all of them is our friend right here. He said on his free time, all free of charge. He never did it for business, all just to make people come closer to Hashem. I remember I told him, Yuval, what about getting married? We're not getting younger. You have to go on Shidduchim. He said, well, forget about this. Now we have to make a movie to make Baalei Tshuva. I'm sure that when I finish the movie, Hashem will find me a Shidduch. What was that? A week after? A week after the film was made, Baruch Hashem, he got engaged. When a person does what Hashem wants, for sure he will succeed. For sure. It just depends how serious and how much he's willing to sweat. There's a lot more I can say. I just wanted you to have an idea who is here. We have the honor to be in the same room with him. Over here in this world, we can be in the same room. But when we go to the world of eternity, maybe if we dream, we'll be somewhere near. If we dream. Be'ezrat Hashem, with no more words, we will start Be'ezrat Hashem the filming.